Rauru Waititi.
How can he justify cutting the minimum wage subsidy for workers with disabilities when it will lead to hundreds of disabled workers being paid less than the minimum wage, some as low as $2 per hour further?
Well, again, what we want to do is make sure that actually disabled people who want to work can work. Many of them actually receive the minimum wage today, but for those that are more severely disabled that actually want to participate in work, we want to encourage them to be able to do so. There's obviously other support packages that are available to people from the system.
Supplementary. What is his response to organisations like the Auckland City Mission, who will need to cut annual food parcels to families in need from 50,000 to 20,000 at a time when food insecurity is at an all-time high as a result of this government's budget?
Well, that has been a function of a significant uplift of spending through the COVID period that was time limited, and those funds have now come to an end. What we are doing incredibly hard on this government is to make sure that we actually deal with the underlying cause of the challenges, which is inflation. We want to drive inflation down so we can drive interest rates down, so we can grow the economy and keep people in work.
Supplementary. Can he name any reports or evidence he has seen that shows policies such as the 3 strikes legislation, military boot camps, and longer sentences will reduce crime rates in Aotearoa?
Well, I can tell you the last 6 years showed us that carrying on doing more of the same didn't work, and those results are utterly unacceptable. No New Zealander wants to see a 33% increase in violent crime, a 100% increase in retail crime, a quadrupling of ram raids. This government's determined to try things and do things differently to get different results. We make no apologies for being tough on crime and being tough on making sure we support young people who need to change the course of their lives.
Does he agree?
A supplementary question, Right Honourable Winston Peters.
Can I ask the Prime Minister as to whether he has seen any evidence that those on disability and being supported by the state were happy to receive the employment rates that they were getting until the previous government interfered with it, and consequently so many of those disabled people then lost their job?
Yes, they did.
Well, the thing is, we want to make sure that employers are encouraged to take on disabled people who want to be able to work. But again, we have other support services through the beneficiary system to support those people.
Supplementary. Does he agree with the evidence that shows that increased poverty and economic inequality is the leading cause of increased crime rates?
Well, what I can tell you is accepting that crime is as it is not acceptable to this government. We actually are saying there is a major problem in crime in New Zealand. After 6 years of a soft on crime government, we're going to do something very different about it. So yes, we're going to continue to work on poverty by making sure we rebuild this economy, lower the cost of living and actually grow the joint. And we're going to make sure that we restore law and order so New Zealanders feel safe in their homes, their businesses, their communities.
Debbie Ngaruapaka.
Kia ora. My question is to the Prime Minister, and welcome back. Does he stand by his government statements and actions?
Yes, I do, and especially this government's work to take action on housing, including by freeing up the rules on granny flats. I'm particularly proud that we're consulting on how those rules can enable Māori communities to develop papakaianga and kamatua housing on their own land. After years of neglect that saw the number of Kiwis living in emergency motels spike, we're taking action to deliver more choices on housing and more opportunities for Kiwis to get into a home of their own.
Supplementary. What is his response to native Hawaiians who are urging New Zealand to withdraw from REMPAC, which provides a forum for Israel to sell surveillance equipment and military training to other countries and directly profit from destruction of their native lands?
I haven't seen those comments.
Supplementary. Does he accept that participating in these military exercises with Israel makes New Zealand complicit in Israel's war crimes in Palestine?
I'll just say to the member, I'm not sure what she's referencing, but I'm very happy to take further questions on it and come back with a more considered answer.
Supplementary. What does he believe New Zealand's role is in upholding the human rights of our Pacific neighbours in Kanaki and West Papua who are fighting for their lives against oppressive colonial occupations?
Well, what I'd say to that member is that I have, the Pacific Islands Forum is the central body by which Pacific leaders resolve Pacific challenges. And on all of those issues, we try and use the centrality of PIF as the reason by which we resolve regional issues. And we'll continue to do that when we meet together in Tonga at the Pacific Island Leaders Forum.
Supplementary. What action, if any, will his government take against Indonesia for their role in killing over 500,000 West Papuans in the last 60 years?
Again, we have a series of regional architecture where we raise regional issues and we develop regional solutions to those issues.